'Tis the season. Time for a winter meetings edition of Boom or Bust, presented by DirecTV 4K. We start with the New York Mets. The Mets should trade Matt Harvey to the Texas Rangers for Jurickson Profar. Boom or bust, Sal?
No, that's a bust. I have zero interest in Jurickson Profar. The Mets could do better. They should do better at second base. Plus, at this point, why am I even looking to trade Matt Harvey? His value is the lowest that it will ever be, that it has ever been. There is no need to trade him now. Let him go out there, see if you get anything from him in a walk year, and then move on. I'm not trading Matt Harvey for anything right now. It's a bust.
It's a boom for me, Sal, because I've been talking about this for a year now. Look, I think if you can get something for Harvey, like a Profar, you do it. You plug him in at second base. It gives you a starter there, or he can even play, first base if need be. Profar, he's one of those Texas prospects that always sounds like he's going to be great in the majors, ends up being just okay. But Harvey, I don't think you could afford to wait around and see if he's going to reclaim that Dark Knight status. I just don't think it's going to happen. If it happens in Texas, so be it. But if it does, it's going to cost you a lot of money. And I think if he does get back like that, the Mets aren't going to trade him. They're going to keep him for the rest of the year. Get the value now while you can.
Right, that's what I'd rather see. I think it's worth the risk to go out there and hope that he's even close to anything like he was, rather than Jurickson Profar or somebody in the back end of the bullpen, please. Sticking with the Mets, first base needs to be a priority over second base. Boom or bust?
That's a bust for me. Look, I know that people have their doubts about Dom Smith, but let's give the kid a chance. I mean, he's only up for a little bit. You want a little bit more power out of him. I know him and Flores isn't the sexiest combination there at first base, but when you're looking at second base as well, there are other guys out there that they could possibly get, and I think that's a bigger place of need for this team. If you don't want to go the Profar route, there's Harrison, there's Kipnis, there's a lot of guys out there who can be had. I think, to me, that's the bigger position of need than first base.
Yeah, I'm going to go boom, and this is not a knock on Dom Smith or even Wilmer Flores, because I could live with them platooning if they had Mike Moustakas at third base, if they get Lorenzo Cain in the outfield, or another big-name free agent. They're not doing that, so to me, first base, the best guy on the market. Go get Eric Hosmer. That's it. Eric Hosmer at first. I could take any of those guys who you just said at second base, and I'd be happy with that. But at first base, if you're going to go, look for value at second base, or maybe, somewhere in the outfield or reliever, then lock up first base. There can't be question marks all around the diamond, John, and that's what it is right now. That's what it would be with Dom Smith and Wilmer Flores. More question marks it wouldn't be if you went out and got the best player on the free agent market in Eric Hosmer.
The other thing that doesn't solve is the third base issue. I mean, you need to have a guy who can play third base. Well,
Cabrera is playing third. I mean, they locked that in.
Well, we have to see if that happens, actually. He may slide over to second, depending on who they sign. Back to the Yanks. They should give Jacoby Ellsbury a chance to win his starting job back as he desires. Boom or bust?
Now, should they? No, it's a bust. They shouldn't, but they're going to have no choice because, again, they gave him a no-trade clause in that contract, that awful contract. Right now, the Yanks should be in a position where they want to shed some of the dead money that they're paying, right? Jacoby Ellsbury isn't worth anything of the contract that he's got right now, so I would look to move him if you could at all possible and have Gardner. I'd rather have Brett Gardner on the team than Jacoby Ellsbury. So the answer should they give Ellsbury a chance? Bust. I don't think that they're going to have any choice but to give him the chance.
I think it's a bust as well. And Ellsbury, who played well when he was healthy last year, but there's always that preface. When he's healthy. Guess what? Ellsbury does not stay healthy throughout the course of the year. And get in line of that Yankee outfield. I can list 5 guys right now who are as good, if not better, that are going to need that playing time. You're right. That no trade and that big contract makes Ellsbury practically untradeable. So what do? Do you give him a chance? I would give him a chance if the hole is there. I just don't see the hole. Even on the DH side, that's how loaded the Yankees are.
Good point. Even forgot about Hicks. I'd rather have Hicks, too, than Jacoby Ellsbury. All right, finally, when the Giancarlo Stanton trade rumors were just that, rumors, I tweeted this. Did you check this out, John?
No, let's see.
Did you follow this? Okay. If Yanks get Stanton, I'm making full-time transition to news and politics. Now, I was coming off of doing a news and politics radio show that morning, but for the good of the world, John, I need to stick to sports. Boom or bust?
Yeah, that's a boom, Sal. I mean, as much as I want to hear your take on current world issues and what's going on with Bitcoin and all the rest of the things that are happening in the world, I think, sports is your niche. But I did enjoy your tweet. In fact, there are other tweets that maybe we'll talk about later in the show. But you take that stance thinking there's no way Stanton's coming here, and what do you know? Who are we talking about? Number 27 on the New York Yankees.
Here's the problem. It's a boom, because the only thing I know less than I know about about sports is politics and news, right? I don't know anything about that. The problem is I've invested my life into sports, and I continue to get hit over the head with bad news. Whether it's the Super Bowl, I'm a Falcon fan, they lose, blow a 28-3 lead. Whether it's Giancarlo Stanton going to the Yankees, living through the Yankee dynasties. My teams never win anything. Sports has provided me so much pain that I just want to get out. I almost need to get out, but I can't. I love it too much.
So get out. I mean, you just go right ahead.
I need the job. Thanks.
No, look, doesn't the struggle make it all worth it when eventually...
I don't know what it's like. I hope so. I don't know. I've never won before. You would know that, being a Steelers fan. I mean, you had the Pirates, which do nothing for you. Your Penguins win all the time. Yeah, so you know what it's like. Is it worth it?
There's room on the bandwagon if you want to come.
You know what? These players are going to the best teams. Why can't fans start going to the best teams?
You're right. I agree with you. We'll talk about it during the break.